Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Caveman to Cosmos with me, Alpha Pi Omega and Byzantium. So the turn is 5315, year 734 AD, and we are one turn away from Windmills. And I don't even know where to start. So let me just start the update with the state of the war. I present to you the world free of Babylon. We have razed all of their cities. One was here, and one was here. We're for now keeping the ruins just to remind ourselves of our might. But I've already forgotten the names of their cities, and they have been erased from the history books, so no one is going to know what they were. We've distributed the population that we captured into our cities, with the exception of the last 4 captive civilians, which are being transported from the last ruins as we speak. Now, the army that was fighting here, the first army, is now marching southwards towards Hippo, where it is going to lay siege and destroy the city, after which it is going to march towards Karthadast. The second army have successfully laid siege to the Malinese city that was here, and we destroyed it, and subsequently founded our own city of Isauropolis on the ruins. Now, kind of interesting that Mali is now friendly to us. Even though we raised one of their cities, they accepted immediately our offer of peace, and they reinstated open trade and the embassies and stuff like that. So I have a feeling that they might be cured of their intention of hurting us. Plus, we have literally dozens of swordsmen here ready to march on their next city, so it is smart for them to actually go and peace with us. Now we just need to transport a couple more units into the city of Isauropolis, and then the second army is going to march back towards Karthadast and join the first army there. We've already actually sent some of the horsemen, and we are sending the warlord captain and the trebuchets to help with that. Not sure if we're gonna wait for it though, but these would definitely be useful when we lay siege to Karthadast. Now, interestingly, they keep their Kanembu warrior outside of the city at this point. So, if we are smart, we might actually destroy them before they rejoin the city, and we could maybe make it a bit easier for ourselves, but I'm not sure if it's gonna happen. Oh, and I completely forgot that they got Kition here. So it's Hippo, Kition, and then Karthadast, and then we'll have this area for ourselves. Now, this is the update on the war. We are yet again at war with some others. Wait, that's civics. Where's the foreign advisor? I think Ethiopia declared war again. Yeah, Greece. Greece is constantly... Ah, okay, well, Greece has peaced out. Anyone else? This is Hittites. Okay, so they also accepted the peace treaty. And anyone else? Oh, Ethiopia yet again declared war. Okay, so now we are at war only with Carthage. Okay, that's good. That allows us to focus on them and eliminate them, as we did with Babylon. Now, we're also heavily expanding. We have the new city of Leucosia here, the city of Basilinopolis, and the city of Otranto. We also have a city of Isauropolis here. And we are planning to found one more city down here amidst these resources. I think we're gonna found it on this hill. I was playing a bit... Ah, okay, no, it's gonna be over here. Really? Okay. Oh yeah, that's gonna give us access to the pumpkins as well. Okay, that's what I wanted. Okay, so there is a hill here and ancient forest, so we're gonna found it here. This is gonna be good because it's gonna secure this entire area. There is quite a lot of resources here, but we are not gonna continue moving westwards, because at this point we already have 2,000 gold in deficit every single turn. With, for example, the city of Isauropolis having population 5, but being so quickly founded that it is actually shrinking right now because it has no expanded borders. But it will, in one turn, it's going to get access to all of these surrounding resources. There are some cows here, tin ore, donkey, and some silk. So I'm pretty sure that once we expand the borders, we will be able to grow the city. I'm gonna start building culture buildings there because I want to connect to our territory as well as possible and to prevent anyone from sneaking around through here into this area, which will later also be settled in. I think we discussed that we're gonna found one city maybe down here or somewhere, just to fill it in a bit. After that, we are going to enter that last city that I was speaking about right now is not going to happen anytime soon. For now, we're going to be at 41 cities with the extra city here. We're just going to try to develop them. We grew really rapidly, so you will see here that we have... Wait, we can look at it like this. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cities, and we'll have 11 cities, which can be considered very small, because you could even put, for example, Justinianopolis there, but those are much older cities. For example, Varna is very old. Same with Ragusa. These cities are very, very old. How long is it that we had Varna? Wasn't Varna somewhere really deep within our territory? Oh no, Varna is over here, okay. So, okay, that's a bit of a border city. Ragusa, okay, yeah, they're the new cities. The core ones are here. I like how it actually shows the expansion. This is where we started, and then we moved outwards. You can see the biggest cities over here. We moved up in the north, Nissos, Philippopolis, and then we started moving down through Laodicea, and downwards, Dorilaum, Adi, Misitras, and then expanding outwards and southwards, Edessa, Mesembria, then Ragusa, Varna, and Justinianopolis, then Adramitium, and then these all are the new ones. Ludgolain is up here, that one is fine, but these ones are also new. So we'll basically have to enter some kind of consolidation phase because we have a ton of work ahead of us. Now I'm avoiding hurrying up anything. You can see that the inflation has dropped to 11%, but we're already paying way more due to inflation. So if we removed that 11%, we would drop the inflation to about half, meaning we would save roughly 2,000 gold, which is exactly what we are missing right now. Give or take a dozen here and there. So with that extra city, it's gonna jump to something like minus 2,500, and we're then gonna start focusing on gold producing buildings in the new cities. With the end of the war, we will just finish a couple more longbowmen and ballista elephants in Constantinople, and then it can start producing the supply trains. It can build a couple every few turns. We're gonna put it on what would you call it, on like non-stop production, and these are going to be moving to the new cities, helping them expand. We're gonna do the same thing with cities like Nicaea or Laodicea, or any cities that actually run out of buildings. They're gonna build either food trains or these what are they called? Work trains? No, they're called supply trains. Okay, supply trains and food trains, and we're going to focus on developing the new cities, helping them grow and helping them get better. So until we hit 0 again, there will be no further expansion. I think that is a solid plan for the next couple of episodes. We really need to solidify our rule, and it is going to be quite a challenge to not run into debt, because with 2,000 gold every turn, we are looking at about 90 turns worth of money. And that is, we'll keep pushing it down. Every single turn we'll keep pushing it down. But still, it is going to be a bit of a challenge, because I don't think we're looking at any major money producing technologies ahead of us. We're gonna get the windmills. Agricultural tools give help with watermill and windmill, but nothing else. And then Crucible steel. That one might give. Yeah, smelters give a bit of gold, but nothing major. Coal mining, though, will then give us a coal mine and a real score. I don't know what coal does. Okay, it gives a lot of production, but I don't think any gold. And afterwards, civil service. That one helps with maintenance, doesn't it? No, this one costs money. This one increases maintenance. Okay, this one would be good, but it requires bureaucracy, which we won't have. So no money producing here. And paper. Okay, paper gives a bit. Stationery store. Okay, so these ones will give us something. And then education. I'm pretty sure that's money cost, and yeah. Yeah, big time. Okay, well, it's gonna get only more challenging from now on, but we have to do it. We have to do it because this needs to happen. And I'll be honest, a lot of the money that we had and lost were sunk into upgrades of our units. You know, you can see that. Okay, well, this is a really bad example. But let's just say that what I'm doing here is that every time I see units that are not the latest type, I upgrade them, spending more money in the process, but improving the performance of our cities. Speaking of performance of our cities, we have recently hit 2 million people, and we are now at almost 2.1 million with 2,096,850. Crop yield is nearing 9,000. Manufactured goods way above 13,200, and gold production is closing to 30,000. Approval rate only 63% though, which is very low, and life expectancy is also not as high as possible. When you look at the domestic advisors, you can see education is good in almost all of the old cities, but in the new cities we are struggling. So this is going to be also part of the revamp process to get everyone up to speed, meaning more expenses. Crime is fine, we are dropping really quickly. Disease, we had a little bit of a problem and we still have a little bit of a problem in Otranto and Isauropolis, but that is because they do not have the healers there, and we are growing these cities really quickly. They start at 2 and we immediately throw 3 guys at them, getting them to 5, and here we're gonna put 2 more in Otranto and 2 more into the other city, so we'll have 2 cities of population of 4. So the rapid growth, of course, is causing a bit of a strain. Now, last but not least, Laodicea is now at population 30. We'll get to population 31, which will mean 275,000 people. But Constantinople, due to our food train policy, is now at 33. I want to get it to at least 34, which I believe might be 500,000 people. But right now it is at 400,000, which is amazing. Our biggest city growing really rapidly, but as you can see, crime is increasing, education is dropping, disease is increasing. You have to keep an eye on it. The rapid growth is going to cause us some trouble. But as Constantinople is the biggest producer of everything, money, science, culture, we will continue this policy for at least some time. I would like to get it to 500,000, whether that is 34 or 35, we will see. After that, as I mentioned, we are going to start sending the food trains and work trains to other places. But we'll switch to the point of focusing. Each city will be focusing primarily on itself, and only when it runs out of viable things to build, it is going to focus on others. So with that said, I think we can end the turn now and hear it for Windmills. Well, case in point, Mansa Musa is offering us open borders, but we are not going to accept it.
When the winds of change blow, some people build walls and others build windmills.
The reason why we are not going to accept it, and I shouldn't have clicked that before I gave my explanation, is that that would allow him to circumvent our borders and settle amidst our territory before we expand our cultural influence there. Anyway, windmills. We can now build windmills, which gives us a bit of food production, a bit of industrial production, and a bit of gold. And it gives us a building windmill, which gives 2 food, +2 with barley in city, +2 with corn, +2 with rice, and +2 with wheat. And that's pretty much it, isn't it? So Adi finished the pub. It has nothing that we would like to build as industrial. Oh, nice, okay, +6 food, that is actually really good. And any gold buildings. Well, with the high flammability here, I'm trying to avoid most of these buildings which just increase flammability. But we are gonna shuttle these ones because we have been putting them off for quite some time now. Ragusa finished. Okay, well, you have an extra. I think you were supposed to be. Yep, you were supposed to be down here. That is an archer used for Isauropolis. And we can check together the city of Isauropolis now that the borders have expanded. Yep, it's growing. It has a decent industrial production. There are some places, though, that need to be improved. We are nowhere near fine. 99% Mavanese. Yeah, I get that. And in 8 turns, it's going to grow its border again. So you guys were supposed to be here, and you could build. And that's an interesting. We could start building windmills here. So either we get 8 production, or we get free food, 1 production, and free gold. We do have a lot of forests here, so let's build the windmill. Let's build the windmill. You guys can head on this way. There's no chance we can overpower these guys, so let us just run them like this. And here the heavy crossbowmen have already the flanking. So if we got a bit more reinforcements here, we could maybe take them down. I'm not sure how that would work. Okay, we still do have 2 of the ballista elephants here. You guys also need to get in here. Okay, there's a forest here. This is upgraded. This is fine. This is actually out of our cultural borders. So you get in here, and Thatch Cutter would give 1 food, 4 production, 2 gold. Or we could get 4 production, 11 gold. But no food. So this would be free food, 5 production, and 2 gold. Okay, Thatch Cutter is nice. Cool, so I'll end the update here. Yeah, the gold situation is becoming a bit more critical, but I think we'll be fine. Yeah, this is, for example, all that Constantinople can build. So, again, it's going to be focused on, the next 19 turns are going to be focused on finishing the city here, improving the surroundings, and actually distributing entertainers, town watches, healers, and so on, so that all of our cities are growing and doing good. So I'll see you in 19 turns with agricultural tools. Turn 5338, year 752 AD, and we are 1 turn away from agricultural tools. Now, this update is going to be focused mostly on the future plans, because when you look at the current situation, we are now only left with the capital of Carthage, Karhadast, which is going to be, and I can bet on that, raised by the time I'm back with the third update. The reason is that we were, and this was a kind of a big and costly operation, able to catch their unit of Kanembu warriors, the strong one, outside of the city, surrounded and destroyed using many of our units. Unfortunately, they took down 2 of our cavalry units while we were doing that, but in the end we were successful, and that means that their city is now defended only by fairly weak units, even if there's a lot of them. So as you can see, we are advancing on them with our entire army, the biggest one being here. We have, what, 2, 4... Oh, actually, I can see it here. 15 trebuchets, 2 ballistas, 2 siege towers, accompanied by 2 war wagons, 3 heavy swordsmen, 2 units of mounted infantry, and 2 warlord captains and bone eaters. Here we have some horse archers, and these ones are going to be the ones that will raid the city first, because they all have the flanking free. Well, actually 6 of these 10 units have flanking free, 4 have flanking 1. So we'll attack the city using these. They will attack and retreat. And then we have some axemen here. Heavy axemen, sharp axes with strength 21, and gold hoarders with strength 21 are really big units, if a bit weak compared to some other ones. And then we have 2 original units here, marrow drinkers and brutal axes, but these units go way back to maybe even the prehistoric age. I'm not entirely sure. Definitely the marrow drinkers. The brutal axes, I'm not sure. In the north we have a stack of 3 units of swordsmen. Here we have an assassin. Here's 1 ballista elephants. These units are going to be used to crack the city once we have weakened it enough. And there should be another one coming. Yes, ballista elephant 42 here. We lost all of ours during the siege of the city here, and some during the siege of the city that was... Can't see the ruins, but definitely there was another city. There's one over there, but that was... here it is. It's a hidden underneath the pumpkins. So we raised these 2 cities and got some people from them. But yeah, Karnadas is our next target, so our units are converging on it. Once these ballista elephants are going to come, the defenses should be sufficiently weakened so that we can attack it. We have some bull riders here as well. So yeah, we do have way more than we need. And I'm going to throw everything I have at the city, even if it means taking some more casualties, because we need to end this once and for all. Now then, what's going to be left is just improving our cities. We have captured a treasure here, and we have 2 military and 5 civilian captives here. Now, when you look at our cities, you will notice that we have 4 cities with population of 5 and 1 city with population of 4. I was thinking how to distribute these 5 between them, considering that, you know, we would then have Nicopolis at 5 and the rest at 6. But I found out that we're finishing a food train here, so I'm going to just send it to Nicopolis. It's going to bump up the population to 5, and I'm going to have the, have each of the cities that have 5 population at this point, which is Eudoxiopolis, Gallipolis, Chandax, Isauropolis, and Nicopolis, all are at 5, and they will all be bumped up to 6. Now we're gonna get some captives from Karhadas as well, but then we'll decide what to do with them. We have 2 cities of 7. Wait, no, it's not true. 2 cities of 7, 4 of 6, and we'll have 9 of 6 and 2 of 7. So yeah, we're really, I'd say, bottom heavy when you look at it. We have Constantinople and Wadis as our biggest cities, and then quite a lot of cities between 20 and 30 population. And then, on the other hand, I think it's fairly evenly distributed. Core of our cities is between 10 and 20. Yeah, okay, no, it's not that bad. If anything, we're evenly distributed as far as population goes, which is not great. By the way, speaking, it is not great. It should be better organized. We should have more big cities and less of the smaller ones. But we have been constantly expanding, and it just means such a nice, even distribution. As far as crime goes, everything is fine. As far as education goes, we are lacking in the new cities. But Chandax is already on its way to go over 1,000. You can see it here, but they're building a Grammaticus, which is definitely going to bump it over 1,000. Nicopolis is on its way. We'll need to focus on that, and the rest of the cities is going to stay nice and comfy above 250, meaning we will get the bonuses, at least some of them, and we can then, once the war is over, micromanage them to get them all above 1,000. Disease is also good. We got it under control. All of the cities are below 0, which is fine. As far as our overall stats go, crop yield is now 9,366, manufactured goods 13,702, and gold production 26,777. We got 2,276,500 people. I get a nice pop-up telling me that we get now 2 million people. Approval rate went up by 1, I think, which is pretty cool. But we still do have a lot of unhappiness in our cities. I mean, it's nothing that's bugging us. But for example, Chalcedon, until it was connected into our trade network, had a really high unhappiness. It had happiness like 15 and 47 unhappiness. So and it took some emergency steps to quickly connect it, and now we're finally working on the tanneries so we can start developing them properly. I have no plans for eastwards expansion right now because we are bleeding money like there's no tomorrow. We might have to start trading for some technologies down the line or turning cities into gold production. But for example, Constantinople really has nothing to produce, so we can just put it on food trains or supply trains. Same as other cities, we can build some, llamas, donkeys, buffaloes, stuff like that, to boost the output of our smaller cities. And each one of these is actually, giving us a huge, not giving us, but has a huge potential for more money. Like, look at that. Calipolis is population 5 and it's already building 2.74 gold, now 5.48. And there's definitely a bunch of other things that we can build here. Once we get the trading post, we will get access to market, and the other ones, it's like 30 gold. There's, theater. Okay, not that many good examples here. Because I think we've already built everything in Gallipolis. That city is fairly old. So let's look at something like Chalcedon. What better examples here? Yeah, candy shop, 15 gold. Beadworker, 10 gold. Jeweler, 20 gold. Weaver, 12.34 gold. Mine for Sapphire, nearly 7 gold. And that's without the market and the other ones. So each of the city has a huge potential. Apprentice Workshop, 16, So we probably won't break even anytime soon, but we will have a potential to lower it significantly in the next 50 turns, which we have. Now, inflation is down to, I think, 11%. No, it's down to 10. So you can see it's 3,638, which is, I think, the smallest that we have since we started, even with the expansion. The city in the south, Isauropolis, actually now has borders in a way that prevents anyone from settling in this little gap and this gap that we have here. So our borders are safe, which is good. But still, I have a lot of requests for, allowing access. I've been also going through my cities and upgrading more units, which is not helping with the money situation. But we've upgraded quite a lot of ships to newer stuff. Yeah, like here, you can see we now have 2 galleasses and a cog. And you know, we might actually start investing a bit more into the Navy once we get access to the sea. Now, last but not least, before we hear it for agricultural tools, I got a great prophet here, and I'm not sure what to do with him. We have 2 options, or 3 options actually. We can have him join the city, which is going to give us extra 2 production, 10.62 gold, and 1.83 science, and extra experience to missionary type units. Or we can have it build Nature's Answer, which will give us 70, well, almost 71 culture altogether, because it gives extra culture per city and extra, or actually, I'm not sure how this is calculated. The 70 is including the cities, or it's going to give us 71 in Constantinople and extra 1 in every city. Not sure. But it will increase the spread of Druidism, give us access to more priests in Constantinople, and that's about it. Or we can have him discover technology. But the question is, look, I could discover Confucianism, and I don't want that. But if I click on fundamentalism, nothing is happening. The unit just sleeps. Even though we definitely have access to it, there is nothing really here that would prevent us from getting it. So I was hoping that he would give us the technology, but I tested it and it doesn't happen. And I really don't want Confucianism, which I believe is somewhere all the way here. Or is it a new technology? No, it's definitely a new technology then. Or is it Islam, Voodoo? No. I thought Confucius was from ancient times. Canaanism, Yoruba. That's real. Confucius was definitely a long time before. Here it is. Yeah, it's part of the classical era. Yeah, so I don't want that. I really don't want that. Well, on the other hand, if we discovered that, it would give us access to third religion, and I'm pretty sure we could spread it around, having the possibility to build more nice buildings. I haven't thought of it that way. We have free religion, don't we? Civics advisor, free. Where is it? Free church. There is a promoted religion, but it is kept independent from the state. Extra happiness per non-state religion in a city. Inquisitorial. Would be fun. But it's just good to eradicate the enemy religions. Then there's secularism. No state religion, but extra happiness per religion in a city. Okay. Anti-religion. Okay, so that would mean no religions, but and happiness is actually lowered by a religion in a city. Neo-syncretism, a unified belief developed from the amalgamation of religion, science, politics, and philosophy. No state religion, extra happiness, disables. Okay. Cosmic enlightenment. No non-state religious spread, unhappiness, and apotheosis. Well, this is a question of how we want to do it. Inquisitorial would be nice later on. because we could eradicate the religions we do not want and actively promote only the ones that we do want. So we would have probably the Hellenism or Druidism as the primary religion, and we would spread the other ones. No, Hellenism goes well with our culture, so having that would be good. And then secularism would be good. Anti-religion I don't think we would ever do, because while that one, well, I'd rather keep secularism, to be quite honest. And then these ones are so far ahead of our... You know what? I think we are going to found Confucianism. Because having 3 religions and have 3 promoted religions would be fine. And we're just gonna eradicate the ones that we do not want to have, and we'll be happy. Does that make sense? I guess it makes sense. So, yeah, let's do it. And we got Saint Louis, Capetian King of France, during Louis' minority, branched out with the opposition of rebellious vassals.
Go before the people with your example, and be laborious in their affairs.
And we got another great prophet. Okay. How great is that? So what do we... And did we get it? Or... That's Kanusha, that's Shinto. Wait, what? Does Confucianism not give us an actual religion? I didn't check it. Because I thought it would give us a new religion. Yeah, it did. But where is it? Spread religion. Confucianism. Oh, I guess you need to spread it. Okay, I forgot about that. Okay, so cool. So let's use you to spread the religion. Okay, so we have to do it like this. Sorry, I haven't done this in a while. Okay, so did we get access to new buildings? We haven't. Okay, so I guess there are no special buildings? Cool, so this was all a waste. And... Wait, did it not spread? Well, we're gonna check it after the end of the turn, because there might be something that needs to resettle. So let's hear it for agricultural tools. This all is turning a bit weird, isn't it?
Agriculture represents the single most profound ecological change in the entire 3.5 billion year history of life.
Okay, so agricultural tools increase the yield of watermill and windmill improvements. Yes, those are improvements by 1, giving us more food. And it gives us a great farmer, which is a national unit 1 allowed. Now, I'm not sure if we can build this one or if it can just pop up. Considering it has the star, I think that's just a great person that we can get and not actually build. But this unit is great because it can... I think it can join city, can't it? Will exist on Earth, but... I don't know, we'll see. But the biggest advantage of it, I checked on it, is that it can plant any special resource that you want and that you have access to. So for example, if we have things like, I don't know, or not things, but if we have places like Ludgolain, which are very resource poor as far as land goes, we can send a great farmer there and have him plant something on a tile, say, I don't know, apples or something, yeah, I guess you get the gist. And he can give us pretty much anything that we have access to, including things like elephants, bison, mammoth. Mammoth would be great, for example. So it's a good thing. But I think this is a unit that is going to only pop up as a great person, but we'll see. We also get access to Baker's Guild, Grocer's Guild, and Victualler's Guild. We gained access to Great Chinampa, to Handwater Pump, which is great because it lowers the amount of food our cities need, and it actually lowers flammability. All cities will need this one. Terrace gives extra food and a bit of gold. And Rice Terrace, the same thing, gives extra food, extra gold, but needs grains. So a pretty good technology, all considered. Now we finished the mounted infantry in Constantinople, and we did gain access to the building school. So what do they give? Monastery. This is amazing. Heals, spread change, gives education, and the temple gives happiness if it's state or religion, but we don't need it. I needed to train a gentleman, which is a missionary. Okay. And we also get access to Great Chinampa, which is going to give us extra food and gold, and the terrace. So Constantinople is going to build the monastery. Then you're gonna build the handwater pump. And the Great Chinampa terrace, and then the temple. Which actually reminded me, we need to look into that. Okay, you can build the handwater pump. Anyone else? Alchemist's lab. So you definitely need the handwater pump now. And Varna finished the catacombs. Okay, anything? Nope. Food, okay, we got paved road. Oh, paved roads would be good. These are not all that good. What about gold? Gold is going to have to be a big priority for us. Okay, porcelain workshop plus 7 gold. I'll take that. Assassin's Den is plus 13 gold, but yeah, we'll get it. We got a ton of crime, like a buffer, ton of crime buffer, but yeah, we can immediately put in crucifixion crosses and stocks to offset that. And anything else? We show these are all fairly small and not a big thing for us. So build the theater to get the education up a bit. Lumber gatherer in Stavropolis. So you can definitely get me the stone tool workshop. That's always good. Okay, our percentage of our people in this area is increasing. Then you can build a tannery. Actually, you're gonna build a tannery, then you're gonna build the stone tool workshop, and then you're gonna build the warehouse and the ice house. Those are really good buildings to start with because they lower the amount of food needed to grow your cities. Education fairly low, but we can easily increase that. And weaver, yeah. So, but the knowledge inheritance, weaver, childcare hut, and then you can get the jeweler, the beadworker. Those are getting quite extensive, so we're gonna wait for that. Counting states roper. It would be good to get the Grand Estate, but it's expensive. Let's keep it like this. And I wanted to check the religious advisor. Do we have... nope, we're missing a religion in Stavropolis. Okay, so all of you guys should have... Yep, we got Hellenism and Druidism. Hellenism and Druidism. You got Hellenism, Androidism, okay, and the last city is, yeah, but you don't have either. Okay, so we need to rectify that. So running the food train, I think you can easily build us you and you first. Cool. Okay, so that's all for this update, and I'll see you in 22 turns with Crucible Steel, which is not gonna give us much, but it's gonna give us the smelter for steel and steel smith. I'm pretty sure we'll need that down the line. And one last thing. Wow, we can actually really build a great farmer. I'm really surprised by that, because it's only 2 turns, so spamming this unit and planting it everywhere, like on every tile, seems like the best way to go. I don't know, I'll have to investigate if you know, maybe you can do it only once per game, but that would be weird. That would be really weird. Turn 5359, year 769 AD, and we are 1 turn away from Crucible Steel. And a lot of things have happened, as usual with these updates. Recently we have been really in the middle of it. Whatever that thing is, we are in the middle of it. So, let's start by a war update. There is no more Carthage. So together with Babylon, they are now gone, and our western border is now safe, at least relatively safe speaking. There's a ton of resources here to be taken, and only one barbarian city at the very western coast called Nagaria. Recently noticed that there is some Holy Roman Empire border here, which is a minor. We cannot contact them at this point, but I think there has been a barbarian city. There is probably some small island or something here, and they are on it. So that's something to keep an eye on. So yeah, the war with these civilizations is gone, but we are unfortunately at war with Mali. Now what happened is that we have raised one of their cities and they peaced out. We had fairly good relations, but what happened is that I was contacted by Greece, who now has only one city, Athens, here, and I was contacted by them and they offered me that they will become my vassal state. Now I didn't know this, but the white nations are listed under their overlord. So you can see that Persia has Ethiopian and Aztec as their clan states, and we now have Greece. Well, I accepted it, unknowing that that means war with Mali. I had to plunder a bit of their territory, but then they were eventually willing to peace. We shared embassies, started trading again, did all those things, and I was really hoping that they will not declare on me, but 3 turns ago they did declare again. So with that said, our army is now on the march. I have united all of my forces that are used as an offensive force into one big army here. You can see that we have 2 big forces of ballista elephants. We have 1 unit of macemen, 5 units of heavy axemen, 32 units of heavy swordsmen, 1 skirmisher, 2 chariot archers, 2 war wagons, 10 horse archers, 10 horse crossbowmen, then 2 mounted infantry, 1 more ballista elephant with a slightly more strength, 2 siege towers, 2 heavy ballistas, 15 trebuchets, 2 warlord captains, and 2 apothecarians. And we are now approaching the city of Taghaza, which is fairly well defended, but I'm considering attacking it nonetheless. because destroying it might force Mali to talk to us, which they don't at this point. And the big issue here really is that if they are at war with us, they are at war with Athens. Now, what I did was I actually created a new archer unit that was supposed to be sent to Athens as a defensive force, but considering that we cannot get there now with war with Mali, I decided to unify it into one big longbowman unit that's gonna defend Constantinople. Actually, let's rename it. We'll call it the Wall Archers of Constantinople. And we get back to our original plan, which is to get the gentlemen now who are gonna spread the religion. But after we get Crucible Steel, I'm gonna see if I can switch this or not. And if not, we are going to build a couple of longbowman units, and I'm gonna try to send them through north, maybe to Israel. I think we have open borders with Israel. We do. Do we? Yeah, we do have open borders. So I could actually enter Caesarea and try to pass southwards. There is territory here, but we can wait. Maviani's territory, but we can wait there. And the moment we peace out with them and get open borders, I would quickly send them to Athens, because I believe we will be able, because they're a client state, to station units in their city. So hopefully I can draw all of their fire for now, maybe even raise Tagaza, see what's going to happen with that, but we really need to protect our vassal. Now with Greece, we have embassy, free trade agreement, open borders, and they are supplying us with bananas while we're supplying them with timber. And once the situation actually becomes a bit more clear, I'm gonna start giving them technologies and hope that they will improve their performance. Can we see? Yeah, we can see their territory. So we might even send over some workers and try to improve the area so that they have a bit more. Wow, they are. What the hell? Why do they have 0 production? Or do we not see that? It's a bit weird. But our city seems to be fairly developed. So we see. Anyway, that's the upgrade. That's the update on the military situation. Update on our territory is much more positive. So we now have 2,357,500 people living in our empire. Our gold production is 27,380 per turn. Manufactured goods, meaning industry, 14,110. And crop yield is approaching 10,000, 9,444. Approval rating is at 62%. We are still in a deficit, but at some turns it drops to something like minus 1,200. So I'm very positive we are doing better and better every turn. As far as population goes, Constantinople is now at 35, which is 500,000 people. And you can see that we are raising the cities that we had at the bottom. So Chalcedon, Leucosia, Chandax, Gallipolis, Otranto, and Pasivinopolis are now at population 6. Isauropolis, Nicopolis, and Cephalone are at population 7. And I moved Ioannina and Eudoxiopolis to population 8. Then Adramyttion, Justinianopolis 12, Varna and Ragusa 12. Adramyttion and Justinianopolis 11, Ragusa and Varna 12, Heraclea, Vicentis and Vidgovani 13, Triadica 14, Mesembria, Theodosiopolis 15, Edessa, Nicomedia 16, Iconium 17, Vodena, Dyrrhachium have 18, Dorevaum and Trebizond 19, Patra 20, Misitras, Antioch, Nicaea 21, Amorium 22, Philippopolis, Nisus, Atalaya 23, Ankara 24, Adrianople 25, Thessaloniki 27, Adi 28, and Laodicea Adricum 31. So the goal for this is to get all of our cities above 10. I'm sending regular food trains down to these cities to speed up their growth. So that's the thing that we are going to do. I'm sending also supply trains down there so that we can upgrade or influence their production and make it faster. So that's my current focus. As far as crime goes, it is fairly fine. Ioannina, as I see, is the only one having some issues, so I'll check that. As far as education go, everyone with the exception is Sauropolis is above 250, with Chandax recently moving above 1000 and joining the highly educated cities. The rest is doing very good though. Nicopolis and Isauropolis, as you can see, are dropping, but that's because of civilian captives joining the cities, so that's dragging them down. And disease is fine. We have heavily invested in the local areas. I'm stretching farms all the way to Otranto, so these territory or these tiles will be changed into farms. We'll build some more lumber mills here and here. Down here in these steps, I'm not entirely sure if we'll be able to do anything, but I'll try my best. We've upgraded most of the resources here that we have reached to, at least as far as I can see at this point. Yeah, so all of these cities now are using the most beneficial tiles, which is pretty good. Same, of course, Basilinopolis and Leucosia. Chandax is also doing good. I think that there is no need. Yeah, this is really fine. And last but not least, here we have Nicopolis, located at the border, so it has some issues because it's nearing desert, but you can see that there are still some tiles left, which would give it quite a nice yield. And Isauropolis down here is also doing really good. We've upgraded all of the tiles so it can grow without any danger. Training tamed camels and some other things that I'm sending. We've sent llamas and bisons to these cities to help them a bit too. And I have been heavily investing, as I mentioned, into the gold producing buildings, so that's why the income is getting slightly better. But we are still at inflation dropped to 9%. Cool, but last turn it was still 10, so that is very recent. So yeah, if we actually put, for example, Constantinople at gold, that's 322, so it would hurt us a bit if we wanted. Well, we could go to something like 70% science and we'll be fine. So really, the money is only an issue in our head. We can slow down and give it a bit more time if we feel like it. But yeah, other than that, I think all is good. We're actually using the great farmers here. That's the last update that I wanted to say, to plant rice here. The reason why rice is that rice gives a nice bonus, so it's gonna give us a bit more food, but I'm trying to do this a bit more strategically, because if you remember, we have I always forget what they're called. One is mill, one is the donkey mill, one is the water mill, which give extra bonuses for strategic resources in the vicinity. I don't think I'll be able to find any of those here. Wait, but one was definitely donkey mill. Something like that. I'm not sure. Yeah, donkey mill. So you can see that they give +6, and that's because we have barley, corn, and wheat in the vicinity. The only thing that we're missing is rice. So with rice here, we're gonna get access to a couple of new buildings, and it's gonna give us extra 2 boost to all of these compound building. So I calculated we might get something like +10 or even more food per turn in Constantinople. However, it takes 30 turns to plant it, so it's not something that you can do really quickly. Anything else I would like to mention? I guess not at this point. We're sort of doing fine with other civilizations. Nobody's really mad at us with the exception of Mali. And even Mali was kinda okay. So let's end the turn and hear it for Crucible Steel.
There never was a good knife made of bad steel.
Okay, so Crucible Steel gives us the access to the steel smelter and steel smith, and it gives access to steel ingots and steel wares. That's pretty much it. Okay, you're cancelling that. And okay, let's go through the city so I can show you what we get here. I'm interested in this one. Well, it doesn't really do much, does it? Though it, of course, provides steel, doesn't it? Or not? It doesn't say that it would provide steel, so it might not even do that. It just increases flammability. But I'll build it anyway. We'll be fine. I also wanted to send some heavy pikemen and heavy axemen to our Greek friends, because heavy axemen are great against melee and heavy pikemen are great against mounted and wild animals, while the archers will protect them because of the general bonus. So that seems like a good combination, but I'll have to get them. So you get this steel smelter and then build me the Guild of Drapers. What is this? Invention of the Tower Shield has provided our foot soldiers with some protection against archers. All melee are promoted to cover 1. Nice, okay. So what does... 20% against archers. Okay, that is pretty darn good. Where's my army? That's not my army. You continue automating the border. What are you doing? You're a supply train. Yeah, we're waiting with the supply train for the Grand Estate because unfortunately the bonus that you get does not spill over. So if we used it now, it would keep us at, it would basically shorten it by 2 turns, which is a waste. So I'm keeping you here. Okay, Sauropus already has the donkeys. What about Gallipolis? Okay, we're gonna move there. You guys could build a farm here, but we'll need some roads. Build it here as well. Here's my tamed camel. So does Nicopolis have it? Nope. And here we have another supply train. So Nicopolis already has it. So let's send you to Sauropolis. And here we get our first gentleman. So we're gonna spread this stuff from the biggest cities downwards. And of course, as you probably have guessed, we are pillaging and tormenting Maldini's territory. What about you guys here? Oh, you upgraded this. There's a jade here, but not all that necessary. Okay, we don't have anything here for the tin mine. Yeah, but I think it's out of reach. But we'll build it anyway. You guys can go over here, pillage this orchard for a bit of money. Okay, it's gonna... Hey, and you can see 1517 gold per turn. So we are starting to do slightly better. By the way, Shadows of Babylon are currently our best assassin unit. Might 4, Combat 5, Penetration, it has cover 1. Commando, and I think it has, yeah, it has the speed, movement, range, poison tips, so it is really a great unit. Don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise. Okay, I'm gonna destroy these forts, because we really don't want them here for the enemy to use. Okay, you can build a row here for the farm. I'll go over there. You can construct the camel herd. Anything else that we want to do? I'm gonna get a new great person in 3 turns. Okay, so this is pretty much how we are rolling. Malay unfortunately won't talk to us, so yeah, I feel like we might want to lay a bit low on these gentlemen guys. Okay, let's just get a couple here. You could get the smelter, but instead what you're gonna do is you will get 1 on bowman. Do you get a bonus to anything? No, you just sit attack. Okay, then 3 heavy axemen, 3 heavy pikemen. Anything else that would be good for the city, because we're gonna send them with a siege engineer. What about the ancient hand cannon? Okay, let's get 3 of you. So we'll create 4 units which are going to be on a mission to follow the coastline until they reach the eastern coast and then try to get through this territory into Athens. Hopefully, the way they are, they will be able to do that. I'll probably add a mounted escort to that as well. So let's actually do that. Let's give you... Okay, no. We will want... What's crossbowman, huh? But the mounted infantry is... Knight? Mailed knight. Okay, so the mounted infantry is actually weaker than the light cavalry. That's interesting. I did not realize that. 5 XP, 6 XP. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This is gonna be a big project, but in the next episode you're gonna see how it's gonna go. I'm not sure. You know, the moment I think that we're gonna erase the city of Taghaza, they are going to peace out, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next episode with more story of Byzantium, because it is really interesting, but I don't really enjoy how we're being dragged into so many wars. So many wars everywhere. But at least some people are friendly towards us. That's always good.